Yeah, Coach. Just your overall impressions of the game. It looked like Aiden played with more force and energy that you maybe were that you were looking for. But just your overall thoughts on the game.
Yeah, I mean, in reference to DA, like his effect on the game on both ends. Defensively, they like to play out of the high post, and with Gasol, I thought he gave us great pressure um, on the ball, and then at the rim tonight, I thought he was much better. You just didn't see guys coming down the lane dunking the ball. He was contesting everything in the lane, and he was a presence tonight. Offensively, even when he wasn't scoring, the pressure that he put on the rim when he was running from defense to offense generated a lot of shots on the backside or driving opportunities because you got to go tag him and then close out to a shooter. And so that part was pleasing tonight. Our defense in the first and third with our first group was pretty good. To hold those guys to 37 points in the first and third. Second and fourth quarter defense, not so much. Even in that last quarter with that second unit, giving up that many points is not good. But overall, you can see, each time the new guys play, you can see more, continuity. You can see more of a rhythm. It was good to have Jay out there. He just knows how to play. It wasn't just his shot making tonight, but his defense, knowing where to be on offense, that stuff is going to help us as we go forward.
And just to follow it up, Coach, how do you? I know this may be tough to answer now. Maybe be a better question for tomorrow. But how do you analyze the first unit and second unit when the overall goal is to win the game? You had obviously the first unit playing well, second unit not so much. How do you evaluate that? At this moment when you
Yeah. Well, I mean, normally you get some of the starters back in. Devin is not playing his normal rotation. I'm looking more at how we play as opposed to, who's in the game. Obviously, you want the guys in the game to play winning basketball, and we're trying to win the game. But, when in the fourth quarter, I would have brought Chris and Devin back and DA. But we don't want to push those guys too early, too soon. I think getting them to the minute total where they are right now and the practices that we have, they'll be able to get to, 32 to 36 for Book easier. But as far as the different groups, I'm more concerned with how we play. The second unit, we're missing Cam Payne, Cam Johnson, and Dario in that group. Those guys know how to play out of the auto and 0.5 that we try to implement. I thought our ball movement was much better in the third, and we had 39 points. And that's something that we're going to stress tomorrow when we get to the gym. We just got to let the offense breathe a little more. When we go one pass shot in consecutive possessions, it doesn't allow for our offense to wear down the defense. And I thought we had a number of one pass shot possessions in the second quarter. I got to look at the film, but that's something that we want to stay away from unless it's a wide open look early in the clock.
Next up is Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports.
Hey, Monty, you mentioned Book getting out of his rotation and he had the foul trouble a little bit, but it felt like in the first half you got the regular rotation you wanted with the starters for the most part, getting them to 17 minutes. What'd you make of that five, getting them out there for the first time and just how they looked in the third quarter as well?
Again, the third quarter was, for me, a bit of a highlight just because of the defense. We held those guys to 16 points, and then we were able to get out and run. And even in our secondary offense and a couple of our called plays, the ball just moved. When we get the ball from side to side or when we touch the paint, we're much more efficient. Like I said, even in that first unit, when you're going one pass shot consecutively, it just doesn't allow for you to wear down the defense. But I liked some of the things I saw with that group. We're just going to get better as the guys get used to each other and get used to the offense.
And last one from me, Devin was running that auto offense, that go offense in the second half of the third quarter, and we really saw the offense come alive. Just must have been encouraging to see that and kind of see the 0.5 elements of your system really flowing through Devin there.
Yeah, I mean, being able to give him the ball and have him play the point guard position, you know, he's got great vision and he's a willing passer. For whatever reason, when he comes off of screens, you know, he's got the ability to draw the big up. So that frees up Deandre on the backside. And the guy that's in the corner has to either tag Deandre or stay with the three-point shooter. And Devin can find those guys. So I thought the ball movement and the flow didn't change when Chris came out of the game and I put Book at the point. You know, that's something that, you know, we may go to some this year. We have that option. And again, we don't have Cam Payne. Cam gives us a bit of an agitator. You know, he's able to get downhill, get into the paint, throw lobs, and he can even score himself. So I just put Book in that spot tonight because I just wanted a little more speed going downhill when we were in pick and roll or DHO situations.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Next up is going to be Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic.
Coach, you just mentioned no Cam Johnson, no Cameron Payne, no Dario, and obviously Abdel's out as well. But when you're, you know, going through the daily process of figuring out what to do with this team, how much are you visualizing, okay, this is how those three guys will look in this, or is it more of in the current moment? How do you balance those two, I guess?
Well, I mean, we have a history with those three guys in the game, Cam, and Dario. So you kind of know, you know, what you're going to get as far as, you know, ball movement, player movement. Those guys know how to play in that auto offense. But the way we rotate, you know, you're going to have staggered off lineups. You know, it's not always going to be the starters out there. Chris, in his normal rotation, he comes out a bit earlier in the first, and then he comes back to close quarters. So that's where Cam Payne can be playing with Book. Cam Johnson can play with Book. And then, you know, Dario, when he starts playing some backup five, you know, he's playing in that group as well. So I just have you know, in my mind, I'm thinking of what it can look like. And you kind of saw it in the third when Chris was coming off pick and rolls and just swinging it to the corner, and Mikhail got a few looks off of that. You know, you can imagine, hopefully, that's Cam Johnson being able to get those shots or lobs or whatever. But I think, you know, once we get those guys back, we'll be able to get a true look at who we are and how we can play. And defensively, you know, having guys who've been in our system, that certainly helps.
All right, Jay, we're going to get started with a question from Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports, followed by Dwayne Rankin.
Jay, not only the first run you got with the Suns, but it's the first time we've seen that starting five together. How'd you think you guys played overall, that five?
Well, I think we started the game the right way, both offensively and defensively. But we just got to continue to just maintain it. Obviously, we're trying to a five that never played together before, so we're still learning each other, but trying to do it on the fly. So it's a process, but it was a good start.
And to follow up on that, Monty had a really good quote from Monday where he said you told the guys, or him specifically, that we just don't really trust each other on defense right now. What are the steps to kind of building that together?
That's every day in our film sessions. We take it serious, learn tendencies of guys. Obviously, in practice, you have to go through the reps and do it the correct way, and that'll translate over into the game. So that takes time. Obviously, we know that, but the way the season is coming upon us, the learning curve has to be a little quicker than normal. So it just takes time, but we'll get it together.
Thanks, Jay.
Next up, we had Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic, followed by Gina Mizell.
Yes, Jay, for first, how did it feel out there? I mean, it's been a minute. I know you had the short turnaround from the finals, but it's been a minute since you've been out on the floor. So in the games, how did it feel?
Felt great. It just felt great to get back. I still had goosebumps, believe it or not. Especially with the new group of guys and a new coaching staff, I had a little goosebumps. But once the ball tipped in the air, all that went out the window. But it felt great to get out there again. Obviously, it's a quick turnaround for myself, short off season. But physically, I feel fine. I'm getting back into the rhythm of things. So it felt great to be out there with the guys.
And just to follow that up, you know, obviously you was in Utah to see Ayton's game that Monday night. What things did you feel like he did tonight to start spinning that wheel in the right direction and moving the needle forward in terms of better play?
Who's that?
Ayton from
Oh, yeah.
last game, this game, yeah.
We were just telling him, run the floor in deep seal. That's going to collapse the defense because he demands a lot down there once he gets inside that charge circle. So we were just telling him, you saw it there in the second half once we figured out how they were guarding him, just run the court and get a deep seal, and then we'll play from there. But I think he did a great job of just letting the game come to him. Obviously, him and CP are doing a good job of trying to learn each other in the pick and roll. And that's obviously going to take time, but they're doing a good job. It looked good tonight. But we're going to keep standing on him just to run the floor. He's a good athlete. He can run like a deer for his size. So we got to continue to stay on him just to run the floor and be a presence down there inside the paint. And from that point on, the jump shots and the face-ups, that'll come.
Thanks, Jay.
Welcome.
Next up is Gina Mizell with Suns.com.
Hey, Jay, you spoke earlier about just what initially drew you to Phoenix to sign with this team. But now that you've been with the group for a few days now, just what are your impressions as far as how you guys are meshing, as far as guys who were maybe here last year with the new guys and just kind of the overall, I guess, culture that you guys are building?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's a great working environment. It surprised me how upbeat and together the guys who was here and the coaching staff is. You know, it's just a good working environment to be a part of. And since my first day, it's just been like great, like camaraderie with everyone, just great communication. The coaching staff do a great job of communicating what they expect from us. And we got a good group of guys who's having fun. The locker room is full of life, full of young energy. And it's just great to be a part of. That's all I can really say is like, it's a great working environment it's pleasant to be a part of, you know, because it's not like that everywhere you go. So just to be a part of this organization has been great for me the first few weeks. And obviously we're going to put a good season together here.
Is there a specific example that kind of captures that you're like, wow, this kind of shows that working environment?
It's just I can't really describe it. It's like the energy when you walk into the practice gym. It's just like, it's full of life. It's full of guys wanting to be better. It's full of coaching staff wanting to push you to be better. It's full of just good energy. You know, I'm an energy type guy, so maybe I'm tripping or maybe I'm weird, but I felt it and I feel it every day. And it's just good to be a part of, you know.
Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Next up is Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic.
Yeah, Jay, just had a follow. I know this is obviously a process trying to build, you know, to a certain level, but when guys aren't playing because they're hurt, and then, you know, it's been like a different team, it seems like every time you guys have played, how do you try to stay on the process, but knowing that once everyone is together, then what we're seeing will probably be better as a team?
Well, you have to be engaged. And I think when I say engaged, I'm talking practices, I'm talking film sessions. That's the only way we're going to first start to be on the same page, you know, and know what to expect out of one another and know what to demand out of one another. It starts with practice. This is way before we get to the real games, you know, way before we get to what you guys see. So I think if we take that step each and every day, I preach, make the days count. That's my term. And I just believe that. I feel like if you come in the gym and make the days count, good things tend to happen for yourself and for your team. So we've just been trying to do that. And we know it takes time. We know a couple guys are out, and that's our first time having semi our whole unit together. So it's going to take time, but we're staying the course and making sure each and every guy is engaged mentally and physically.
All right, we're going to get started with a question from Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic, followed by Kellen Olson.
Yeah, Jevon, I just wanted to get your overall assessment of the game and how you feel like you guys played in response to the last game against Utah.
I think we came out with better focus, better attention to detail, and I feel like we followed our game plan pretty well throughout the whole game.
And just to follow that up, when you look at just moving forward to that final preseason game, and then obviously the season starts next week, what things do you want to see better, tightened up, however you want to phrase it, to get prepared for that opener?
Our defense and our rebounding. You know, I feel like we give up a lot of second chance opportunities, and I feel like our offense can be better coming off the bench. And, I feel like we can get in a better flow with the second unit, you know, and just piggyback on what the starters are out there doing.
Thanks, Jevon.
Next up is Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports, followed by Cody Cunningham.
Hey, Jevon. Monty said that after Monday's game, Jay said you guys just didn't really trust each other that much on defense right now. You've been a part of a lot of great defensive teams, especially West Virginia. What are the keys to that as a team building that together?
Just communication. Communication help you a whole lot. And then just knowing our principles. We got a lot of new guys, and they just gotta become used to our principles and how we do things defensively.
Thanks, Jevon.
Next up, we have Cody Cunningham with Suns.com.
Hey, Jevon, just wanted to get your thoughts that, now that you've played in the newly transformed arena, just what are your thoughts on it? What was your reaction when you first saw it, and how did it feel out there?
It's dope. Lost for words, honestly. I don't really know what to say, but it definitely feels good. It would feel better if the fans was here. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right, DA, we're going to get started with a question from Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports, followed by Dwayne Rankin.
Hey, Deandre, just your thoughts on the game tonight and your own performance.
It's not cold like Utah, so we could run, and our lungs could open up properly. But no, we locked in. Fortunately we lost, but I think we got better in some gray areas we had in the last two games. Our transition got better. We played hard. We ran the floor. We shared the ball. I know we had a lot of passes this game, and that was the big difference. As a group, we did pretty solid.
Thanks, Deandre.
Next up is Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic, followed by Cody Cunningham.
DeAndre, obviously, coach called for you to play with the force and physicality he knows you're capable of playing with. What was your mindset going into tonight? Because obviously you got Anthony Davis, you got Marc Gasol, you got Montrezl Harrell, and then you're playing this renovated arena, and then after the last game, what was flowing through your mind as you was preparing for this?
I know we didn't, as a team, we didn't play the way we're known for playing hard and competing. So I know we had to bring it, and we had to protect, try to protect home court. And, it was just the way how I was just excited. I like to compete, just knowing you're going to play AD and LeBron, defending champions. Like, I was so happy to play them earlier today. I couldn't wait, and, just when you're a competitor, you play to the level of competition a lot. So that's what I did, and it got contagious, and the team followed.
I'm curious just to ask you about the renovations. Well, what did you think when you first saw?
I was running it. I was running through them hallways. Them hallways was big. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen them hallways that big. And I went to the old area where our main locker room was, and they told me it's further down. I went in there, it looked like the same one as the practice facility. I'm like, dang, this is, this is it. And I was just so blessed and happy, and just to be a part of it, seeing the transformation and seeing how it was and seeing how it is now. I told Book, I was like, Book, you see your new crib, bro? You see us in your new house? So stuff like that, just embracing it and having fun. Today was a good day overall, and we enjoyed it.
And lastly, what got you in the rhythm early, and what got you in the rhythm in the third quarter?
CP and Book be on me, man. Before the game, after the game, they be on me, getting my mind right, knowing that I got to bring it, knowing that we don't move on unless I, bring that anchor on the defensive end, talking, bring that energy. So just having guys like that to be on me, that's what I love. They know their personnel, and that I'm that type of player you can get on, and even when I am doing right, you could get on me and just, yell and, just it's the level of respect how we, just know each other's personnel, and it's cool. They got my mind right, they got me on the edge, and I just know I had to dominate.
Next up is Cody Cunningham with Suns.com.
Hey, DA. It seems like Jae Crowder came out hot tonight. Just wanted to get your thoughts on what it was like playing with him, and just how important is he not only with his skill, but also having his leadership out there as well.
Man, you could tell that dude been in the NBA Finals. That's all I gotta say. The shots and the way how focused and locked in he was talking, knowing the whole team's personnel, he knew their whole offense. Like, he was calling it out. Him and CP just was calling, like, what? So just being around that experience of people who've been sophisticated in this game, it's like, man, you know, I feel comfortable on the court. I just never felt so comfortable knowing that me not on AD, somebody else is on AD, and, you know, somebody else on LeBron. I felt comfortable. I felt like, you know, I need just grab this rebound and go. You know, just knowing that Jay just had it down. He just had it down. It was just perfect. That's a vet for you. You know what I'm saying? He protecting me when I'm supposed to be protecting him. So it's just is that lit? Is that comfortable on the court when they're talking and knowing personnel of the other teams?